Good morning, Simon. This past week, really, so much has happened. We have had over a week of daily, sometimes multiple protests daily, of course, protesting, fighting for justice for George Floyd and systematic change. As far as what we saw last night, more than 5 hours, hundreds of protesters walked for miles through Belle Isle, and then protesters marched throughout the city, fighting for justice, fighting to have their voices heard, echoing through Detroit those chants for 8 consecutive days. Hundreds of protesters all on a mission to fight against injustices after the death of George Floyd. Detroit police shepherding the protest chose once again not to enforce that 8 p.m. curfew set by the city. Demonstrators demanding police reform, including an end to racial profiling, an end to the use of excessive force. They want laws passed to ensure police accountability and oversight, and demonstrators say they're taking a stand.
We are continuing to march every day until all 4 police officers that conspired in the murder of George Floyd are in jail, that Derek Chauvin is convicted of first-degree murder, and that Trump and Pence are out now.
Just being out here, I think it's good for people to show, how much they care about the situation and solidarity. And, we've been out here just making sure things stay peaceful.
Well, there are a number of marches planned for today. A march planned at 1:15 on the DeQuinder Cut in Detroit. A march later on in the afternoon, or a demonstration, rather, outside the Museum in Detroit. Also Sterling Heights from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's set to start near the Shelby Township border and head east along M59 to Macomb Community College in Clinton Township. We're also seeing demonstrations in Ferndale, Redford, Rochester, Romulus, Southfield. Those are among the other cities where there are protests planned. Tomorrow, more demonstrations planned in Livonia, Oak Park, Wyandotte, and I've been told that there'll be a group of churches planning an event outside the Warren City Hall, a separate group of churches planning to meet outside the Detroit Police Department headquarters. And I just saw an email come through about a prayer walk that will also be taking place. So throughout Metro Detroit, many people rising up, taking a stand against systematic racism and police brutality as seen with the case of George Floyd. Something else to note that the Detroit Police Department is saying that of the more than 100 people who've received citations for breaking curfews earlier this week, they will likely be dropping most of those charges. We'll continue to follow this and continue to cover it. Reporting live, I'm Jennifer Ann Wilson, 7 Action News.